The real solution is a wide open mentoring program. So here we see the effects of mentoring programs. Note the scale is a bit bigger. So in general, so most groups see positive effects. And here I'm just showing you mentoring programs in chemicals and electronics. In some sectors like retail, mentoring programs can't bring people from cashier to store manager because the store manager has to have a college degree and the cashiers don't. But here are two industries where a lot of people have college degrees. They're able, a mentoring program can actually bring you from not management to management. And here, if you see the size of these effects are huge compared to everything else we've seen. These are hugely effective. And, a mentoring program, you can get assigned to be somebody's mentor. You don't choose them in these programs. And the mentors we talk to tell us, well, I met this person and she was just incredible. She was a coder. I didn't know that we had Black women coders who were this good. These are white guys usually talking. And I just made sure that she got every opportunity that anybody in my department would get. I just made sure that she got on the list when they were looking at promotions, for example. So you can see how these programs would not only solve the quantitative problem of you have a lot of people without mentors, but also start to change managers' minds, because we know that the best way to change managers' minds about bias, to change people's minds about bias, is through experience. So through experience with a protege. Interestingly, some studies show that these mentoring relationships also change the minds of the proteges, thinking this organization is not as biased as I thought it was. Maybe there's a future for me here. I'll just show you one slide about training. Training programs also within firms tend not to be democratic. So training is a part of the career system, but in many firms, it's offered informally. So your supervisor, if you're a cashier, might take you aside and show you like how to do payroll, because they realize there might be a supervisor job open. There might be a job on the night shift open. So if you're buddies with the supervisor, they might take you aside and show you how to do some things. Where there are formal training programs for managers, usually you have to be nominated by your supervisor, and people tend to nominate other people who look like them unless there's a specific program for that. So if you have a firm that has a management training program, having a special nomination procedure and allowing self-nominations, both of those things have proven to be quite effective. I want to show you something else, though, which is cross-training programs. So these are programs where people come in and they move around to learn how the firm works. They move around to different jobs, different departments. And here we're seeing very positive effects on most of the historically underrepresented groups. And when we talk to people, interview people about what's going on here, they say, the people who go through the rotational training say, yeah, they put me in HR when I came here. That wasn't my idea. That was their idea, but I know how to code. I have a community college degree in coding. And so they moved me around. I started in HR, but a month later, I was poached by the finance team who needed a coder. So cross-training programs have like the advantage that they expose people in different groups. Before I mentioned that a lot of jobs are kind of segregated. Minority men, for example, in logistics jobs. This gives people exposure to departments that are full of people that aren't like them. So in a lot of firms, I find this effect pretty impressive, because a lot of firms only do this for a certain number of jobs, not all the jobs. They'll do it for mid-level engineers and above or something. So a lot of companies have informal work-life supports. So if you're the right-hand person of the CEO and you have twin newborns, whatever you need, anything to keep you on and to make sure you come back. But if you're somebody in the mailroom who hasn't been there that long, a person of color, the same situation, you may not get any flexibility. So we see that firms that both put in work-life support programs and try to train managers in how to use them so that managers understand that they're really for everybody, they see big effects. So this is the effect of putting in a flex time policy. And I think what's interesting here is when we talk about work-life programs, people are always saying, yeah, that's for white women. What do we do for everybody else? Well, look who benefits from these. Everybody does. One of the reasons minority men benefit is that minority men and women tend to be in dual career couples where they both have to help with childcare. Neither person can afford to quit because they tend to have lower incomes than white couples. So anything that can make it possible to be a good parent, any kind of flexibility, keeps people from quitting for a job that's closer or a job that has more flexibility or a job that has different hours that works better with their spouse's shift. These policies don't cost anything. I mean, this just means you can flex your hours. You just have to apply. Most executives tell us this doesn't cost anything. And in fact, a bunch of companies have done their own self-studies and find that this doesn't cost them anything.